Thank you very much, David. Also, thank you very much for AI Hamburg for inviting me, and certainly thank you very much for being here to listen to this little talk about the secret sauce of Hapag-Lloyd's AI journey. So this is supposed to be a lightning talk, so I'll be quick. Who am I? I've been with Hapag-Lloyd for 23 years now. 10 years of that I spent in the US. I've always been a digital transformer within the company, so I've really tried to really push the limits here when it comes to converting an old industry, very traditional, to the new ways of working. And what is Hapag-Lloyd? Anybody, maybe a show of hands really quick in the room, who actually does not know what Hapag-Lloyd does? Oh, everybody does, so I don't really have to start from scratch here. But, really quickly, we're now 176-year-old, very traditional industry, and in the end of the 60s, actually, we had our AI moment, which was basically the container being invented. And very similar to AI, basically the container was around for quite some time until people understood what it actually meant to have a container and how it could scale and how it would change the world. So we also had our AI moment, but it was containerization at the end of the 60s. Now, who's Hapag-Lloyd today? Right now, we have 250 modern container ships. We ship roughly 12 million TEUs around the world on a yearly basis. We have more than 14,000 employees worldwide. They're spread across 400 offices, and they are located in 135 countries. So we are truly a global company, and we are basically shipping goods from everywhere to everywhere. Now, what are our strategic pillars at Hapag-Lloyd? When we look at, strategically what we want to do, certainly we want to be profitable around, across the cycle. Who doesn't want to be that, right? We want to be and remain a global player. We want to be number one for quality. And we also have sustainability very, very close to our hearts because, as you know, we are a very asset-heavy industry. So sustainability really is a focus point for us. So, but also after 176 years, we have to face new realities all the time. And now this is again one of those moments that's happening right now. And why is that? Because we are now leaving the VUCA world. For the last couple of years, our world was already quite volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, so quite chaotic already. But now we are really, really stepping this game up again. And we are going into the Barney framework. So everything will be even more brittle, anxious, non-linear, and incomprehensible. And we are already kind of feeling that right now since basically latest November when GPT-4 came out. I think everybody kind of got that feeling already. But why is that so? Because now we actually have the perfect storm happening. And what does that mean? Basically, we have a new human tech reality. We as humans, as persons, not only employees and companies, but also as humans overall, we now become educated decision makers. And that means we have a lot of information available to us. We actually have access to a lot of stuff. I see that with my 3 kids. They have access to stuff that I have not had, when I was a young child. So this is happening to all of us. So all of us have a lot of information and access to everything to kind of be really educated decision makers. So no fooling around when it comes to companies selling stuff anymore. And that now hits, again, in the perfect storm, the OpenAI or AI moment and the emerging technologies and the convergence of tech. So all that now happening at the same time is a crazy situation for everybody. And we have seen this, for a long time. Basically, sometimes the humans were a little bit ahead. Sometimes the technology was a little bit ahead. So it was always this cycle, right? But now when COVID hit, that's actually a really, really good point. When COVID hit, we as humans were not really ready to be in the home office and virtually talk to our colleagues, right? But the technology was there. We got really lucky because in the end, Teams was right at the edge of being implemented. Now that accelerated it, and some collaborative tools as well. So that really helped us to basically have the technology ready to help us through the crisis. And similar now also with ChatGPT, with the moment of, now the mainstream understands AI and that something is happening. Now we as humans have to catch up every day, right? I mean, talking to the Microsoft folks and some other tech folks over the last couple of weeks, everybody's trying to catch up, right? Even the salespeople of the big tech companies, they're like, scrambling to kind of keep up with their own stuff that they're announcing on a daily basis. Now, when we look at this, this also means that our way of working overall changes quite a bit as well. In the past, we spent a lot of time implementing stuff. But now, we actually will spend a lot more time really thinking about what we want to do, defining the objectives and the rationales. Also looking at maybe which AI tool could actually help us with that. So we'll spend a lot more time looking at tools, understanding the tools, and preparing. And then the implementation will be quick, but it will also scale quite significantly faster. So the way of working changes a little bit here. Whoops, that was one too fast. I just wanted to also take a look ahead a little bit. A couple of weeks back, I spent some time in Cambridge at the MIT. And one thing struck me there a little bit. When I was actually visiting the quantum lab there, they were talking about like, oh, quantum is coming in 10 years. And be it 8 years, be it 15 years, I really don't care. But it kind of told me or showed me that basically the next AI moment is already around the corner, right? So we're all really busy now looking at AI and what is happening and trying to keep up with everything. But let's also not forget that the next big moment will be coming. So let's be a little bit more prepared as humans and as companies for that moment. So let's keep the trends on our radar as well. And a lot of good use cases we've already seen. A lot of use cases will still come from my fellow speakers later on today. But I also wanted to bring one use case from Hapag-Lloyd as well. And this is a use case of IoT meets AI. And what we basically do right now at Hapag-Lloyd, we put devices on all of our 1.8 million containers that we have, which means that there will be a lot of data to be looked at, a lot of data to be understood, and then database prediction will actually become a real reality for us as a large global company, which then also brings the customer value back into play and the supply chain visibility. So now we talked a little bit about the new realities and the new principles, and now we'll have to go into the new principles maybe. So technology enhances experience, and creativity enhances technology. And that's a moment where tech fails, I think. Can we have the can we have the audio coming up? If not, then I'll just move on. So basically, this is my friend.
I never get tired or have off days, so Karsten can count on me to always be there when he needs assistance.
Super, so that's my avatar, and my family, my wife and my 3 kids will be really happy because my work-life balance will change dramatically, and I'm also happy about that too. So things are changing, right? Maybe skipping this one really quick, because I want to get into digital dexterity, because that's important not only for humans, for every person, but also for teams, for companies, for countries, for the whole society. We overall need to become more, need to embrace digital dexterity, which is the ability to adapt the new technology and embrace new opportunity. And this is really, really important, because even if humans themselves try to be open, understand, having a creator mindset, it does not help. We really, as a society, need to work together. We need to start sharing the learnings. We need to start working together and really, really embrace this moment of technology advances and make sure that we actually make the best of it as a whole global team. Now, coming to new approaches as well. We've been watching at Hapag-Lloyd the MTech and app tech sector for quite some time. And now we are finding ourselves, together with all of you and everybody, in this AI and GPT tool moment, right? Where a lot of stuff is actually happening. We're all really, really interested in what's happening, and a lot of stuff is going on. But we also have to now admit and realize that the new reality is really everything plus AI. So everything plus AI means that everything will be AI empowered in the future, which also means that lifelong learning must be part of it. And how do we actually scale this whole transformation internally? What we do is we have our Digital 1000. Those are 1,000 Hapag-Lloyd employees that are really digitally savvy. We train them, and they bring all the information to the 14,000 employees worldwide. And we also bring it back, because we learn from them locally what their needs are, what the differences are when it comes to technology. And how we do it? It's basically a lot of things, a lot of frameworks to really keep the upskilling, but also the reskilling happening across our organization. We have bar camps, we have the Digital Week, we have offsites, training modules, and all that. And one thing that I want to show you really quick is our 24-hour around the world segment, which is basically 24 hours live streaming for every single Hapag-Lloyd employee. Everybody can jump in and out or spend as much time as they want. And we talk about the globe, basically. Every hour, we switch the location, we switch the teams that are presenting. We talk about digital, we talk about AI, we talk about everything, and that's how we all learn. And actually also, the Hapag-Lloyd employees that are presenting learn how to actually, share their views, share their cultures, share their digital knowledge. So that's really cool framework to get everybody involved and make sure upskilling and reskilling is really happening. And I want to close it up with one thing that's really important, I think also as a key takeaway here. And we kind of talked about it already. We talked about, mindset and being open and all that. And now really what we are and where we are now as a society and also, at Hapag-Lloyd with our employees, we are at the growth mindset phase, right? So we're already starting to be a little bit open-minded and understanding all the different technologies and what's happening. But that's not really enough, because in the future, what we need to be is really developing a creative mindset. And that means we need to really create things, be creative, embrace the change, explore, try things out, and then really use the technology as an enabler and make it all happen. And that closes it for me. Thank you very much.